Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh, and Overwatch's new Mercy, D.va and Junkertown patch has been live for just about 24 hours now. It feels to me like a new lease of life on the game, and to me that can only be a good thing. Now I'm just going to share a few impressions 24 hours in as to how it's feeling to me, my thoughts on how new Mercy and new D.va are going, a couple of observations or tips in them I found from my diamond or plattish small world experience, and most importantly I'd love to hear how you're finding it in the comments. Okay, let's get stuck in. So how's comp feeling? Well, it may be early days, but it really feels like a shot in the arm for the game. There are a lot of people experimenting with the new Mercy and D.va, and for me, maybe it's because I've been playing across a couple of servers for the games, but games just feel better. I'm talking about the general feeling of games, the amount of frustration, toxicity, call it what you will, one or the other. With no Mercy 5-man res, there's less frustration on that, there's no kind of an instant reset button anymore, and it feels as though games are going a little bit faster for me because of this. I know some people have said that because of Mercy's single res, and more on that later, that it feels that 2CP in particular are getting extended for a long period of time. But what this does mean is that getting picks and grouping up feel as if they matter that little bit more. So for those who don't know the term, a pick is kind of like the first kill on one side or the other in an engagement that triggers a push or some action from the other team. If you get a pick or a double pick, even if a Mercy on the other team reses one person, it means that they can't be instantly undone and simultaneously undone by this simultaneous Mercy res that used to exist before. Now, of course, on defense, you can repair silliness a little bit with the Mercy res as well, even if it's a short cut down in terms of getting everyone to regroup again by resing one person who may be overextended when you're attacking. It just makes a little smoothing around the edges of the kind of regrouping and pushing experience, whether you're playing King of the Hill, whether you're attacking, whether you're pushing out as a defense a little bit, which just feels a bit better. As for the D.va changes quickly, well, defense matrix not deleting or blocking the world does make a difference if you're playing DPS or damage. You feel like you're in the game a bit more, Soldier, Pharah and Reaper for particular, I've tried all three of those, and that ults matter a little bit more than they used to. It is not always this order that you had of, let's say you're attacking a control point map, demech the D.va, hunt the Mercy down before trying to capture a point, before trying to take over something on King of the Hill. Although these still help, of course, it gives you this bit more room to operate as a team, and it just feels like games have opened up a little bit, and this is entirely a personal opinion, feel a little bit, I don't know, fairer? Granted, this won't repair one tricks, DPS insta-lockers, people actively trying to troll and similar, but to me it just feels a lot better. And of course for the short term, people wanting to try out D.va and wanting to try out the new Mercy means you have at least one tank and one healer each match for the near future anyhow. As for Junkertown, I played a fair few matches on the PTR before it even came live. You can go and find it in the arcade. It is a blast. I really enjoy the feel of it. I love the wide open spaces and the different feelings of each section that you have between the front area in front of the town, the streets, and in the final dueling zone itself. I really love it. I can't wait to see what it brings in competitive matches in a week's time. So I know it's only 24 hours in, but I'm really digging the new feeling the game has. Everyone just feels a little bit more positive, I think, and experimenting and trying out new things as everyone learns these new heroes. How have your games been so far? Do let me know in the comments, but let's get on to some thoughts on Mercy and D.va. Well, having played a few games as Mercy, and bear in mind that I haven't played loads of Mercy, probably since Season 1 or Season 2, she just feels really, really fun, and I think people are going to want to play her in future, which is a good thing. Now, bear in mind that I played from maybe high gold to kind of mid-diamond, depending on what hero, what account I'm playing on, and what fortune I've had in queue. So this is my small perspective on the world. I am no pro Mercy by any means. Now, I personally do not miss 5-man res right now, because of the effects I described earlier on in this video. As Mercy, you can have a lot of fun in Valkyrie, and with a 30-second res cooldown outside of Valkyrie for a single res, you can kind of keep the tempo going. Mercy, when you play her, feels like a metronome. She's flying here, she's flying there. You can repair little defensive mistakes if a teammate, say, dies on defense, and they don't die somewhere stupid or out of your reach. Ditto when your team is attacking and trying to poke, or maybe regrouping on a control map for another push. Now, there are still good reses and bad reses. There's an additional factor. Who do you res with your 30-second res, and when do you pop Valkyrie to reset its cooldown? Are you resing to tank, the DPS, the healer? Is there someone you can res that will make the difference if you've got a couple of people down in a team fight? Now, I'm not the greatest Mercy, but this is fun and adds a layer of decision making and skill, and also deciding when to hang back and when to engage. Diving in and trying to res someone now is a risky business because you don't have your invulnerability. A few quick tips or things to share from my current experience. For Resurrect, be careful with the range and how you're aiming. It's kind of short, it can occasionally feel a little laggy or buggy, I need to test it a bit more. Try pointing Mercy's crosshair at the portrait or body if you're close most of the time, but the range is quite short. You need to be very, very close to the person's portrait or body who has died. Now, what if you want to try and get multiple reses in? Well, your combo will be res, Valkyrie, res, as Valkyrie resets the cooldown on res, and then res cools down faster when ulting in Valkyrie. So you can still chain 2, 3, perhaps 4 at top reses together by the time you get out of Valkyrie, if you've got the targets available and you stay alive. Another interesting thing that you can play with, try cancelling Guardian Angel and seeing your speed mid-flight. You will keep momentum for a spell afterwards. You can, with practice, chain this into a bunny hop style of movement by using it cancelling and then quickly finding a new target to lock onto. Mercy can be very hyper-mobile, even more so than before, and even outside of using Valkyrie, depending on your team's positioning. Now, this little additional movement speed does have a downside, and as I said, remember you're not invulnerable anymore in your ult or at all. Now, the additional speed you can get from cancelling Guardian Angel or from flying around with Guardian Angel makes it more easy for you to misposition yourself, so be careful when zipping around to a body or a corpse to try and get that res. Also, remember the D.Va changes as well, these affect you. A Soldier 76 ult is a big danger now, given that D.Va is blocking at max a couple of seconds of it before she probably gets demech'd. If you're in Valkyrie, you will have a big target on your head if you're flying around in the open in the air. Time it accordingly, coordinate with your teammate accordingly, and play a little bit like the Faras. You might pocket every now and then, dive behind cover, come out, and make sure that you've got enough people in the target of your beams. As a minor aside, with no multiple simultaneous resurrect, this actually kind of helps a hero I love playing as well, Symmetra. For a big recovery, she's even better on the maps that she can be useful on defense. Given that my main competitive account is called Microwave and Sim is my go-to fun pick, I am totally happy with this too. Well, I'm finding Mercy a lot of fun to play, a different dimension of skill. I think a lot of existing Mercies can adapt to this as we go, and if you've played a lot of her, you'll find a lot to like here when you get used to her. You can now show your positioning and decision making skills even more, as you can ruddy well fly. How are you finding Mercy personally? Do let me know your thoughts. Alright, D.Va changes. Now, I've always loved playing D.Va, her character story, attitude and design, and she's caused just as much concern as Mercy. In various places, people are not liking the changes. Well, the main thing is, and I understand this because it's a difference in playstyle, people are upset about defense matrix. It is not 4 second, it's like more 2 of uptime now, I would say. Now, D.Va is now, and has kind of always been floating around this area of being a bruiser. Now, the term bruiser is from MOBAs, things like Hero of the Storm, League of Legends, Dota. Not a full-on tank, neither a full-on DPS or damaging character, but a nice bit of both, and D.Va really fits into this now. She has some tankiness, but she can now shell out a ton of burst damage, and very, very flexibly, if played with a little bit more care than previously. Now, D.Va has had an interesting history in Overwatch. She's swung between high damage and low survivability, high survivability and low damage, and then being obscenely tanky for a while with pretty decent damage too. Now she sits in a different space. She's got good burst damage, average survivability depending on team and own positioning, and note that I'm saying average, not bad, as some people are saying, and the ability to still interrupt key enemy ultimates and disrupt key enemy plays. With that in mind, here's a few thoughts, observations or tips. Micro missiles are actually no joke, even though they were tuned down from the PTR. Remember that you can fire primary fire and micro missiles at the same time if you time it right when diving someone and then boop them with D.Va as you're moving and then punch them to finish off the combo. You can delete most squishies from full health if you land a reasonable amount of missiles, and you can actually severely hurt or finish larger health targets or tank characters even. With a 7-second cooldown, micro missiles is actually quite spammable. You can use this quite a lot. You don't have to hold on to it all the time, especially in big team brawls. If you play any other DPS right now, of course, be careful of feeding Zarya shields. I've seen a lot of people doing this with D.Vas, as indeed with Junkrat after the changes in recent competitive games. As for your playstyle as D.Va, you have to play a little bit more safely. Remember, you don't have this 4-second all-absorbing defense matrix anymore. You can dive in and use matrix to cover your booster recharge after you've done damage, so you can retreat, or you can use it while moving in to soak up the damage, get the key pick, and then hope you have good healers behind you, or your team following up hard after you so you can jet away to a health pack. D.Va is a really nice hit and run hero. Actually, she's kind of better than before. The firing when moving change is a big one. She just has to time and choose when to do so and which targets to go on. Save your matrix, work on your timing. In this D.Va, you're not sitting in a graviton surge with your team with matrix held down, or diving onto a Reaper or Soldier all the way through his ult and covering it all up. You can still focus on ulting Farah, matrix some of the ult and then missile and cannon. As opposed to squashing an entire ult with Matrix, you can squash some of an ult with Matrix, but use your additional attacking capability to try and kill the hero while they're ulting, and this is the kind of change in play. More timing and a different way to engage are required, and that's actually kind of fun to me as well. Don't despair, D.Va mains, you're now like an Apache attack helicopter. I actually really like her, and she's not trash by a long shot, so give her some time. There you go, guys. What do you think of the new patch so far? What do you think of Mercy, if you played a bunch of her, or D.Va? Are you enjoying the changes or not? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As for Overwatch, more lore videos coming later this week, and then a new video on Sunday, so please do check that out. And of course, I'm going to be streaming next Monday, the 25th of September, so do keep an eye out on my Twitter at FailCraft Casts, or on my Twitch page, twitch.tv/HammehOW, for the times for that. I'll be playing a bunch of subscriber and viewer games as well, so do come by if you can. Cheers for tuning in. Love to hear from you. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.